Hello and welcome to Blue Girls Video Podcast. Today I have dreams for you for December 2014 through January 2015. I'll try to get it all done and within the 30-minute limit. So the first one is boa constrictor. I figured something out and it wasn't a dream. A woman is walking around in the desert and sees a boa constrictor. A woman is lying in her bed and a man is in the bedroom. Pellet candy. There is an open auditorium. Some guy looks like a minister. There is a table that has dishes of pellet candy. These two people retrace steps, had a jacket or something that was lost. Well, that's kind of strange that they have like a dish full of pellet candy because they're usually in those little things, plastic things. But, that's the dream. Pricing. I guess this guy got a job through a woman. He had a boring job of pricing portraits. It wasn't at a store. Shuttle. A woman is waiting at a transit center for a bus number 90, and another one passed by her, and she gets on a local shuttle bus. She sees someone who resembles her childhood friend. Later, she is with two women until late at night. She tells them she is good with colors. 610. So whatever it sounds like, me or whatever gets on a shuttle bus. Okay, a childhood friend. Well, I don't have the initials. I just put their first initial usually. Sometimes I slip up and say their name. But anyway, there's no initials, so I'm not for sure who it is. I think it might be a high school friend, beginning with the letter J, though. So whatever it sounds like, okay, so I tell someone that I'm good with colors. 610, either that's an apartment number or how much the rent is or the deposit. So I'm thinking that's why I'm saying that. Someone did tell me I was good with colors like a long time ago. And that's what I was trying to do. I was working on jewelry. So, two bikinis. A woman and young man are sitting in a waiting room. She was wearing shorts and had a lot of black felt tip writing on her upper left leg. Then she was in a room with two women wearing bikini tops and an African American woman. One of the women wanted to stop at her relative's place as she was traveling. On the 15th, a woman wants to give a woman flowers, roses. So this was kind of strange, but okay, so there was a man and a young woman sitting in the waiting room, like for an appointment, right? And she was wearing shorts, and on her left side, for whatever reason, there was like writing on her left leg below the shorts with a black felt tip pen. I don't remember what it said, but it was kind of strange. Okay, so then the dream switches in it. Well, then she's in a room where it's two women are wearing bikini tops. So, yeah, so it's kind of, I think it kind of switches. It's like going from one waiting room to another. Horseshoe shape. You didn't say anything to me. Feel myself walking like a horseshoe shape. Well, that's kind of strange, but it sounds like a whatever enclosed place. A guy with short light brown hair is sitting at a table. He wears glasses. Someone turns knob of front door. Gracie. There is a parking lot, a place to drop off your payment. I see different mail sizes. A poodle named Gracie. Okay, there's just one-liner dreams. To please. There are two women, an older black-haired medium length woman and a younger short blonde-haired woman in early 20s. The blonde was a lesbian and was being shown how to please her. Please woman, lease, month to month, 1 year, a guy was around. So, yeah, I remember this dream in which at the time I had several dreams of this blonde-haired woman and I think she worked in housing. I'm not sure, but I don't know if it's the same woman or not. But she was being sexual with a woman who was a little older than her, and she had black hair. I can't, and with medium length hair. I can't really see them right now, visualize them in the dream, because I've had dreams of both, a woman with who's older with black haired woman, short blonde hair. So anyway, so yes, they were being romantic together. So what are you gonna do? Beautiful scenery. A woman was taking several buses for a day trip to a place that was extremely beautiful to the eye. As she was walking around, she passes some man, a guy who looks Greek with brown hair and eyes, was sitting at a table. Someone thought he should get his hair cut. A woman was speaking Spanish. There were two young couples who had a shitty orange or red hair car. It should be red colored car, not red hair car. Okay. So, yeah, I don't really remember the beautiful scenery, and I should, because I kind of remember stuff like that. But there was a Greek-looking guy around, and I'm kind of questioning if it was another country. Because, yeah, it just, let's see here. So, yeah, I remember the Greek guy having long hair, and someone mentioned, well, he should get his hair cut. And the woman the woman that was with her was speaking Spanish. And then, yeah, I do think this is a foreign country, and so there was two young couples that they had like just a jalopy, a piece of crap car. And so this was a foreign country, but I'm not for sure exactly where. Images. Two women are sitting down. One is older with blonde hair. As she was watching a movie, she elbowed another woman and mentioned my name. There are glimpses of desert scenery. Then the scenery switches to a house in the middle of the country with snow. A woman approaches a couple in their truck as a man enters a small store. Images, okay? Okay, so sometimes these dreams, it says, well, this is part of a movie. It doesn't happen very often, but I do think I think it was the movie was my life, I think, and so this woman elbowed the other woman and mentioned my name, and I think that my name was coming up on a housing list, and so that's why I'm seeing desert scenery. And so then the scenery switches to the house in the middle of the country with snow. So it could have been another place that came up, or it could have been where I was staying at. Okay. Childhood residence. A woman is at her apartment complex that reminds her of her childhood residence. She approaches an African American boy to question him if this is AC, that's the residence. A couple of women are helping her, and there is an underlined handwritten pencil writing on a page. A woman is frustrated as she goes to purchase a pop and just takes a 7-Up from a 6-pack in the fridge. 79. This woman is talking to some guy, 79. Taxes. This one kid smarts off, and he usually isn't like that. A piece of paper in hand. There is something expired, missed it. Okay, so I'm thinking, the 7th and the 9th of a month, or it could be, the 7th month and 9th month. But it has something to do with taxes. And so the next one is pets. A couple are sharing a workspace. A woman has pet rabbits. I do not know why I have so many rabbits, she says. Split pea soup. $450 isn't that much money. Two women are sitting down at a kitchen table having a discussion about food. One woman mentions that she will eat anything except for split pea soup. I'm unable to see the woman's face. One of the woman's boyfriends walks into the kitchen. Okay, so I think 450 is kind of, I think the situation was possibly a roommate situation with me and this other girl. And so we were talking about food. We were sitting at this, like table, a small table with two chairs. And I said, I don't know why we were discussing food. I think we're just kind of having a conversation about what food we kind of like. And I said, well, I'll eat anything except for a split pea soup, which is true. I just don't like the look of it, and I don't really like the taste of it. It looks like you're eating snots, to be honest. So in the dream, I can't remember the woman's face. And I do remember her looking at me, but I can't remember her face. I know she had short hair. I think it might have been blonde. Not the blonde woman in these other dreams, but a different woman. Blonde or brown hair. It was light. That's what I remember. And then her boyfriend walks into the kitchen area. So he must be, whatever, visiting or whatever. And so that's what we were having a discussion about, I guess, to see what we ate or like to eat. Tapeworm. A woman is walking through her place and thinking, leave me alone. There are a teenage guy and girl around. There also is a long eel or tapeworm in water. Woodsy. Someone is in a 2-story house and looking outside her window. She sees a lot of snow and woodsy. Someone is kind of begging someone about something. Oregon. There are students walking around on campus. These two women, one being younger than the other, something about 2:30 or 2:45. They don't want me to stay with them. I mentioned getting a travel book for Oregon and staying at a hostel. Okay, so this is Oregon. So I'm thinking 2:30 or 2:45, an appointment for something. Okay, so it sounds like I'm not, like these two women don't want me to stay with them. It sounds like it's something temporary. So I say something about getting a book on Oregon. Two cities. There are chairs in this one room. An overweight African American guy is in room. He doesn't say anything to me. New York, two cities or two the same. I tried working for 8 months and was never late. Okay, so I'm not for sure. I don't really remember the guy, but so yes, I did try working for 8 months and was never late at this one job in retail. This was a long time ago, over 10 years ago. And so so that job didn't really work out for mental health and medical reasons, unfortunately, even though I was never late and I was a very hard worker. $100. A room full of ethnic men playing cards with a deck of coins on table. A couple of women are walking in town. One is looking for a bed and another cannot afford $100. She would have something shipped. A woman is crying and says, not everything is my fault. Okay. Okay, so I don't really remember this dream too much. I mean, I can see me, the woman, saying, not everything is my fault. Well, I can see me saying something like that because I do have a disability, and in my opinion, and this is just my opinion, that people have a tendency or they can use your disability or disabilities against you. And they also can, just blame you for things because they know, it's kind of a weakness. They can use it against you. So that's why I think that I said not everything is my fault, because it sounds like I was being blamed for something. And I don't know why I'm saying I cannot afford $100, so I'm not for sure what that was about. Cheddar. A woman was sitting on some toilet. She flushed it and then realized There was this beige cheddar-like substance. Someone mentioned her mom. She needs her birth certificate. Okay, so yeah, I remember the beige cheddar-like substance. I don't know what that was, but I remember that in the dream. Okay, so January 2015 campus. There are several Caucasian students at a campus of a college or university. A young overweight woman with short blonde hair is positive, and a couple who are intimate. A woman mentioned to her friend about him writing a book about his life. Okay, so the woman was me, and I have a friend who, a couple people have told him, or recommended, why don't you write, a book about your life? Because he's had a very interesting life, and he can write really well. So the next one is empty bedroom. Yes. This older woman and myself are walking in an empty bedroom. So the next dream, and I remember this one, they lied. This woman wanted to get her children some ice cream, but she had to wait for them. Some other woman was walking around with only socks on her feet. She was surprised then when a guy offered to drive her to Coeur d'Alene or some place like that. She stated, they lied. They agreed to pay for it, and some woman had cash in her hand, $300 to $400. Okay, so I do remember this dream, but I don't know who lied. But I do remember saying that in the dream, they lied. And so I don't know why. I've been through Coeur d'Alene, but I have never visited there. And so I don't know if there was an apartment or something in there. I don't know, available, but, I'm not for sure what was going on with this Coeur d'Alene thing. Volunteer. I see a different area. Could possibly be places around here or wanting to visit. La Push, Nia Bay, not sure. I see dots like when filling out a test form and the word volunteer. Some guy is sitting at a desk. Okay, so I remember, and this might have been, so this is January 2015, and I think for March, for my birthday, I took a public bus to La Push and Nia Bay. I tried getting there, but then there was only one way to get there, and there was this truck that had all these logs on it, and the logs fell off. So everybody was stuck, and so I rode back with this nice couple. But I mean, that was like one of the most bizarre birthdays I ever had. And I still haven't made it to La Push or Nia Bay, but so whatever, it sounds like someone wanted me to volunteer or something like that. A physical. This black guy is having sex, can't see his partner. I want to get a physical. How long do I have to wait for an appointment? You don't accept Medicare. Well, I am not paying for it. There is this black bump. Okay, so I don't know why this black guy is in here having sex. Sometimes I have really strange dreams, but they are just dreams, So whatever, I wanted to get a physical, and then I was like, it sounds like it was going to take a while to get in for an appointment, and they didn't accept Medicare. So I was like, well, I'm not going to pay for it. And something about a black bump. So something was going on. I don't know if there was a black bump in real life or not. But that was a dream. Monorail. There is an open office room with several young white adults. I see a couple of homeless-looking guys sitting down. A woman walks right underneath a monorail. So I vaguely remember these homeless-looking guys in this office room. I don't remember the monorail, though, and of course that's the Pacific Northwest. White sheets. Spiral staircase. There are white sheets that are hanging up in someone's basement. Rocks. A guy and a girl with dark brown hair are in a room full of people. Two women are together and one is climbing on some rocks. Snow. A woman is in her passenger side of a car. She looks outside her window and sees a lot of snow. There is a young black woman sitting at her desk. Someone is in her place. A guy has some paperwork. So I'm not for sure what this is about. The next one is body of water. A woman sees a body of water in front of her as she sits on a raft or a boat. There are several boats surrounding her and decided to stop early of her destination. Was going to pay $1.75 for bus, but paid 50 cents instead. Forgot bus card. Okay, so one of the places that I lived in the Pacific Northwest, outside the window, I could see a body of water. There really wouldn't be a raft out there. There could be a boat. But this is a dream, so there was several boats around. And it says boats, and usually in this body of water, there's ships as well in real life. Walking on water. Oh. Walking on water. My friend is walking around in his apartment. He has a piece of paper in his hand and is crying. Then a woman is walking on a dock with the water being close to the level of the dock. As she walks, the dock ends, and as she steps onto water, someone comes up from behind her and lifts her up. A woman is being sarcastic and bitchy. A woman mentions 2 different cities she has lived. Misdemeanor. Okay, so I do remember this dream. My friend, I don't know what was going on with him, but he had like some kind of paper from housing in his hand, and there was something going on, and so he was crying about it in the dream. So yeah, I remember this dream. It's kind of like that one dream I had of where I'm walking on a path in the desert, high up with a bunch of other people, and the next step, the scenery changes. Well, this is something different. It's like I'm walking on the dock, and then one more step, and then I would have fell into the water. So someone comes up from behind me and picks me up. She lifts me up, and lifts me up. So whatever, it sounds like some woman is being sarcastic and bitchy. I don't think it's a person who lifted me up, but I think that she's the one who kind of helped me. Victoria or Vancouver. I was at this place with this young, cool, hip-looking young woman. She wanted to do something on a certain day. In the beginning of the month, get a room, a brochure, near Victoria or Vancouver, but not in it. 2 people may have known each other from a long time ago, same city. It was noisy in a restaurant when she left message on phone. Okay. So I think that me or this other woman wanted to go to Victoria or Vancouver. This is in January of 2015. I did go to Vancouver, and it was just like for a day thing, but I've never been to Victoria. And it says, but not in it, which doesn't make a whole heck of a lot of sense. So, yeah, so that's the dream. Las Vegas or Reno. A woman wanted to get this young blonde hair girl to come with her, but her mom didn't trust her, so she ended up going alone to Las Vegas or Reno. She had lived in 5 different states and traveled to 2 different countries. A room has a pull-down window shade, a leaky faucet in the bathroom, and a broken black thing on the wall. She was unable to contact her youngest brother because she forgot his email address. Okay, so the woman was me, and I wanted to have this blonde girl come with me, but she didn't. Her mom didn't trust me. She didn't have the best view of me. But I ended up going alone. I usually, like, whenever I try to make plans to go with people to, like, on a trip, I always go alone because there's always some issues. You know, I go the budget way and the economy way, or there's always something that doesn't work. Like my friend and I, we were going to go to San Diego together. I ended up going by myself many years later. And, you know, he goes, well, I don't want to stay at a hostel. And there's like 15 hostels in in San Diego at the time, and he wanted a hotel. Well, the cheapest I could find was $100 a night, and we're both kind of poor. So anyway, it just hasn't worked out. I prefer going alone because I can just do whatever I want. So it sounds like, yes, at the time I have lived in 5 different states, and I traveled to 2 different countries. Those were border countries, and I didn't really stay there that long because I felt discriminated when I went to Canada. So if you ever go to Canada, don't tell me you got a disability, because then they pulled me aside and asked me all these questions or whatever, But I just went there for the day, and I had my return ticket to come back. So I think after like so many hours or days that you have to do something else, I just didn't want that. I just wanted to go there, and I was there for a day. Mexico, I was somewhat intimidated because of it's a different language. I have taken Spanish a long time ago in college, but it's still kind of, I have a harder time understanding it with my ears and then writing it. But still, it's a little intimidating to me, and so those are kind of the issues with that. So whatever, there was a leaky faucet. It sounds like that I was staying in a dump. Light blue water. There was a 20-something man and woman with long blonde hair. Well, she did, the woman, and he was giving a woman a pap smear. Later, dreams saw a light blue body of water. I can't recall Florida being mean and confrontational. I mean, if there's a reason for the confrontation, but wasn't appropriate. Okay, so this dream was about Florida, and I did live in Florida for 6 months, kind of like a snowbird, many, many years ago, over 10, I think. But where I was at, they weren't mean. They were confrontive, but they weren't mean about it. Like in Las Vegas, they're mean. In Nevada, they're just mean in general. Las Vegas and Reno. So I don't agree with that, being confrontational just for the heck of it. I mean, if there's a reason for it, but I felt that when I lived in Florida, they were fair about it. If there was an issue, they were fair about it. They weren't mean. So